good to be live with you. I haven't been live with you in quite a while. We're actually bicycling with my family at the park, so I thought about doing this video for you guys because it is the funniest thing. There's two things into one. Number one is that US has ended its mass deportation and arrest of immigrants at work at job sites. Okay, so if people are working and they come to America illegally, they were going and rounding them up. Now they stopped that. Right, they're not doing that anymore with the new president because, and here's the catch, because there's millions and millions of Americans quitting their jobs. Right, all these people that had these dumb jobs that they were not happy with, they're just quitting because there's so many people hiring that they're using that as a leverage to find a better job. So, can you put it together? There's millions of people quitting their jobs because they're tired of that type of stupid work. And then they were arresting a lot of people that were immigrants that shouldn't be here, that were supposedly working and they shouldn't be working. Now the Big Brother's not going to do that anymore. Can you guys put it together? On top of that, right, we have millions of people in forbearance programs. On top of that, we have millions of people in stimulus checks. We have all kinds of programs out there. Not even talking about, Social Security. We're not even talking about retirement. We're not even talking about Medicare. We're not talking about all that stuff that's, bankrupt or will be bankrupt. I'm just talking about that they're eliminating the requirements for immigrants to have jobs, right? And why is that? Well, I'll tell you the same exact reason what's happening in Great Britain. Big Brother in Great Britain is claiming that they don't have electricity. There's a crisis of electricity because they don't have truckers, because when they exited Brexit, they cut off all the immigrants, and a lot of the immigrants were truck drivers, right? So they were bringing all the fuel in. So the last time I was reading that they're short over 200,000 truck drivers, and Big Brother in Great Britain is sending out letters to people saying, hey, do you want to be a truck driver for us? So as you can see, that the world we live in is very integrated, okay? We need the immigrants, okay? We need the immigrants. They're the ones that make America great, okay? They do all the jobs like no one wants to do. For example, in my state, Texas, if you just drive around, who are you thinking are building the $300,000 homes? Who do you think is building the $500,000 homes, triple million dollar homes? Well, I'll tell you what, the Hispanics. They come here, they're willing to work out there in the hot weather, Texas hot weather, 100-degree weather, and build these homes for the home builders to make these profits for their shareholders, right? If it wasn't for them, none of the houses in Texas would be getting built. I'm gonna be honest with you. Who do you think does all the lawn care for these houses, or corporate America, okay? If you didn't have immigrants, what makes America so great is they took a lot of immigrants in. Let me give you an example of my dad. He comes to America, doesn't speak the language, doesn't know how to read, anything like that, okay? He drives this ice cream truck. He drives an ice cream truck. He works 7 days a week. He saves his money, and then he buys himself a restaurant, a pizza place, right? And then from there, he works 7 days a week again, and he starts making money, and now he has a very nice home that he's paid off. He's old now, but the American dream, okay? Two things. The central bank is killing the American dream because they're printing so much money, okay? But that's a different chapter. But the other thing is because of immigrants like himself and other people here that have come here, they create jobs, right? They open businesses, they work their butt off, they're willing to sacrifice, etc. And we're really seeing that, in Great Britain, because they kicked out all the truck drivers that were immigrant, they don't have, supposedly to the Big Brother, they're having fuel crises, blackouts, because they don't have someone driving their coals in, okay? And the other thing, when you come look at the American economy, immigrants, man, they help out the economy. Now, a lot of people say, well, they take our jobs, and I think that's BS, right? That's BS because really, immigrants, the ones that come here illegally, because you have legal and illegally, the ones that come here illegally, they pay into Social Security and Medicare, and they don't collect. They don't collect. Majority don't collect, unlike the average citizen here. So there's a lot of benefit because they're willing to do the harder jobs that other people are not willing to. They're willing to work longer hours. They're willing to take riskier, you know, job occupations, and so on and so on and so on, guys. Okay, so what in my mind, what makes America great is, you know, immigrants is a part of the equation. There's a lot of different things that make America great, but one of it is immigrants. They come here, they work hard, they have creativity, they know how to take risks. You know, they're willing to gamble and be their dreams and open, you know, businesses and multi-mega businesses and real estate investors, gas stations and pizza places, and you name it, guys. Okay, now let's go back to the idea that all these people are losing or quitting their jobs. Well, a lot of people work in these, you know, hospitality businesses or sectors that hardly make any money, being a pizza driver, being a delivery driver, Uber driver, you know, working in a hotel, you know, being a busboy, dishwasher, or waiter. There's nothing, no disrespect with any of those jobs. I had those jobs myself before. That's why I know about these things. But you know, they don't want to work like that. I mean, I know people that have jobs like that, and they work 60-hour weeks, and they still can't make bills in. I know people that have 2 or 3 jobs, and they work all the time. They can't make ends meet. I know people that have college degrees, and they're now Uber drivers, right? And what happens with that is they eventually get in a car wreck, and they are even in a worse situation than they were before. And I'm like, man, you should just done the new flip, dude. You should just done the new flip. You would keep all the money, and all you need is $100, and you turn it into, like, you know, $500-600. You turn $100 into $10,000 a month if you're willing to hustle. You be your own boss. But you know, some people just rather work for someone else. So we're seeing right now that, you know, we need the immigrants because we're in a tough situation. Our economy's in a tough situation. We don't produce anything, and I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the reason there's a container shortages, because all the containers are coming from overseas to America, but there's nothing inside of the containers for them to go back at, right? So that's one of the problems that you're seeing with shipping containers and shipping costs, on top of regulations where, you know, you have hundreds of ships sitting outside of ports are not allowed to be dumped in, for whatever reason. But if you don't know, guys, shipping costs has exponentially grown. I've been in the transportation business for 14, 15 years, own my own movie company. We even transported stuff from the ports. And I can tell you guys, shipping has gone so expensive. You know, back in the days, you could ship something from, like, a container from China to America for roughly anywhere from $13,000 to $200 or $300. Okay, depends, you know, who you use and how big the carrier was. Today, the same exact container is going to be at least $28,000 to ship it across. Okay, that's like exponential, right? So you know, we need the immigrants because we're in a tough situation. We don't produce anything in America, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know that many companies that produce stuff. I know, like, for example, this knife that I own that I bought from Microtech, and this is made in America. But besides weapons and debt, like, you know, like our banking, our real estate is packaged up in mortgage-backed securities, and the stinky bankers sell it to overseas, right, to all these investors. Yeah, we produce debt and debt instruments and bonds, but we don't really produce anything like, you know, like bicycles or something to drink, or, you know, shirts, or like gloves, or, like, you know, like average things. We don't produce stuff, right? And we're outsourcing all that stuff to other countries. And now the last president caused a lot of beef with the other countries that we get all of our stuff from, right? That's why things are the way they are. You know, the tariffs, the sanctions, right? All those have made things more expensive and harder to get from the number one country we get everything from. Leave a comment if you know what the number one country we get all our stuff from. It starts with a CH, guys, right? So the last president made it really difficult for stuff to get shipped over here, right? And made it more expensive for stuff to get shipped over here. And again, all that means is you and I are going to have to pay more money for a pair of gloves because it's made in China, right? And at the same time, we're going to have to pay more money because they're printing more money. So not only we're getting double bammy, they're printing more money, which is causing price to go up, and they're messing with the supply chain because of tariffs and sanctions, which making the price even more tougher. One great example is, for example, Venezuela is one of the biggest resources for energy, right? And guess what? They're sanctioned, right? Right now, that country can give Great Britain, they can give this, all the coal or gas and fuel that they need, but we can't do business with them. So that type of stuff causes more expenditure at a time where people are quitting their jobs because they're being too optimistic. And what they don't realize is back in the 1970s, the hardship that people went through, right? If you looked at even go further into the Great Depression, then they would understand that people will line up to get gas, right? To line up to get gas. They will line up to get a pound of chicken. Now, that brings me one thing to gas, guys. About a year ago, actually a little bit more than a year ago, I told you guys that gas is going to be $9 a gallon. $9 a gallon. And right now, if you go into Europe, if you convert it from liters into gallon, it's roughly $8.50. In California, there's a gas station they're charging $8.50 right now. But this is the beginning, because there's going to be, when I say gas, I'm talking about fuel. There's going to be shortages of electricity. There's going to be shortages of what we need to run our systems, right? Whatever it is, if it's for our cars, if it's for our electricity. So there is going to be a massive shortages, and that's exactly what happened in the Great Depression, okay? So whoever says that, history is baloney, I mean, whatever happened there is exactly happening here with a little twist to it, right? Because times are moving, but it's pretty much the same story, guys. I said in 2016 gold was going to rocket. We're seeing it, okay? We're seeing it. Everyone said 2016, Mike, you're crazy. A year and a half ago, a year and 3 months ago, I said gas is going to be $9 a gallon. People say, oh, you're crazy. And here we go, guys. Here we go, right? So anyways, my man said the universe is full of abundance, and that's absolutely right, okay? Absolutely right. And the abundance is that in this crash, in this darkness that's coming, there's a lot of opportunities out there, okay? I'm seeing like people starting businesses. Like one of my students and viewers, right? He wrote me the other day. He said he started a transportation business. Johnny, that's okay. Much love to you, Johnny. He said he started a transportation business. In 1 month, he makes more than most people make in a year. And I know that. I used to own a moving company. I'd make 100K, 120K a month, right? And that was just one location. I had 3, so I know what that means, right? And so yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And the world that we live in, the controllers, the elites have made it to seem like there's not abundance. But the real world that we live in is full of abundance. That's why you can take a seed of apple and get a forest of apples, right? That's why you can, plant something and get millions of flowers. So we live in a world of abundance. But the controllers, the manipulators, the elites have it where we're all fighting over a stupid piece of dollar that they print from the freaking printing machine. That's why I do my shit for you guys, because we live in a world of abundance. My man's exactly right. Creativity, imagination is a lot more powerful than money or a FICO score or a credit score. And that's why, after I donated all my stuff or most of my stuff to the homeless, that's why I don't work, guys. I didn't work maybe like one day out of the month, right? Because I realized that, dude, the more money I make, I'm just making my vendors rich. I'm making, taxman rich, and it's just sucking my life away for paper. How much paper can you really need to survive? That's why I'm a minimalist. That's why you guys see me having just a few shirts, 2 pairs of shoes, and a couple of pairs of pants, and that's it. And I love it because, it's like unplugging from the metrics, because the metrics makes you feel like you're an A or a B or a C or a D. Your FICO score is 800 or 700 or 600. They always try to separate us and make us feel like we're not enough. And the truth of the matter is, we live in the world of abundance, right? You can have anything you want through your imagination, right? Anything. Like a guy like me, that daddy's a refugee to America. Daddy doesn't speak English, read. I hardly read English, can sell books just through my imagination, like the new Flip, or or other books I sold and made on the Amazon first list. Well, of course, we live in the world of abundance. Now the question is, what is the mindset? Okay, how is that person's mindset? Some people's mindset is scarcity. Now, when I come out here and I tell you guys that all people are losing their jobs and that scarcity, that's what's happening, right? For all these people that are in the metrics, that's what's happening. When I say all these people are in forbearance program that haven't made their payments, I'm not being, pessimistic. I'm not being a negative teller. I'm just telling the story the way it is. There's millions of people that haven't made their home payments, guys. There's a lot of people that can't make it. I mean, if you're honest with yourself, a majority of people in America don't even own their car. The bank owns it. So that doesn't mean I'm pessimistic. No, America's a great country. There's a lot of way to make money, but what happens is that people get trapped into the more. I want more. For example, let me tell you a story about me. I had one business is making me $1 million, but I wanted more. So I opened another location, and then I wanted more. I want to open another location, but then I wanted more. Then I got into the real estate game, into the rental house business, and I got into the brokerage business, and I wanted more. So see, and that's kind of like cancer, right? That's how cancer is. You have that cell, and it keeps dividing in more and more. So for me right now, is having the balance of, do I really want more? I mean, what is more? What is the most important thing for me in life is spending time with my kids. I mean, you see the bike behind us? We just came from the park. Yes, I mean, every day we go to the park. I mean, I'd rather hang out with my kids than go make $1 million, right? I can imagine and use creativity to make the $1 million in a different way without working, and that's what makes America great. Okay, now if you want to make $1 million, that's up to you. But again, they're printing it. They're printing it, at the printing press, and they're diluting our life energy. Okay, let me see if I can get these live chat. My man said everything is in your brain. That sure is right. I'll quit. They make me get a job. How do you? My man said, how do I get by without working? Well, that's a great question. It's called creativity, imagination. Like, I have investments in Bitcoin. I have investments in gold. I did, own multiple businesses that made me multi-millions of dollars. I did give most of my stuff away. I didn't give all of it away. I did keep a little bit. So, I didn't get all I should have in a sense of material things, but I got all of it in a sense of awakening thing. So the way, I make money is through investing. Like Rich Dad talked about, there's 4 quadrants. You got E, S, B, I. E is having a job. S is like working for yourself, like you being a personal trainer or you're a wholesaler. B is like you have a wholesaling business and you have acquisition managers and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and I is where you invest. Before I was investing in real estate, and today, I think that real estate is just a big headache right now, for me, because I want more of my time of freeness, right? So, but when the market crashes and we see massive, massive discounts and there's blood in the streets, then, I'm going to get into the game again. But right now, I'm riding bikes. Just yesterday, I did like 96 miles on my bicycle, guys. It's got up at 4 in the morning. We left at 5. And I didn't get home till 11, right? Just rode bikes. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to make money. For example, the new Flip. Another way that I make money is called the new Flip. I may work 1 day out of the month or 2 days out of the month and make 10 grand just flipping bicycles. Just work that 2 days really hard, right? And I've done a lot of videos about that to you guys on how to do that. It's pretty freaking easy, okay? You do need to know what you're doing, and that's why I wrote a course for you guys, and I showed you exactly step by step what to do, okay? I love it. The new Flip is so awesome because I don't have to have an office. I don't have to have special skills, special tools. I don't have to have a lot of time. It's like whenever I want to do a deal. Like, I got a bike right now. People want to come pick it up, and I'm hanging out with my kids, so I don't have time for that. I don't care. Whenever I'm willing to meet up with the buyer, then I'll do the deal, right? Where before, when I owned my moving company and I had 27 people working for me, 24 to 32 people working virtually for me. I mean, I was working 7 days a week. So, I'm happy I don't have any of that stuff anymore because I am so glad that I realized that, you know, what's the most important thing to you? I told you what it is for me. You leave a comment below. My man said they will print the money more, but wait, they no longer print it, just digitally on the screen. That's exactly correct, and and that's why that I believe in Bitcoin, guys. More than anything, because it's the sovereignty of you and me. It's the freedom of you and me versus, you know, I mean, for example, my wife just put in like I think $700 into Bitcoin, and she has over 3,500, $4,000, like, and just like recently, right? So not because of her money grown, it's because she's her own bank. She has it in her own hardware wallet. No bank can seize it, no creditor can seize it, no one can control it, no one can edit it, copy it. Still, she has her private code. That's all she needs. Okay, and that's so powerful. Where else can you do that, dude? Where else can you do that? I surely ain't gonna trust Tether crypto. I surely ain't gonna trust Fed coin, right? So I don't know. I personally like freedom. I came from Iran where there was no freedom, and I value freedom more than I value safety, right? Because safety means no freedom, right? And I don't like that much safety. I'm willing to take a risk. I'm an entrepreneur, So I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Thank you for everyone that has clicked the like button. If you have any questions, comment. I'd love to answer for you below. Oh yeah. Before I forget, gang. Um, if you guys are interested in real estate, excuse me, flipping houses, buying houses subject to wholesaling, landlording, then highly recommend joining my academy. I'll meet with you one-on-one. I'll get to meet you, meet your goals, your dreams. I'll come up with a blueprint for you that actually is going to work. And on top of that, you get monthly coaching. And on top of that, you get access to my best-selling courses, all for just $97 a month, guys. So if you're interested, go to academy.mrnofluff.com, or just go to mrnofluff.com, or just go to My Real Estate Dojo. And if you haven't gotten my free book, Start Where You Stand, guys, is how to do real estate without stinky bankers. That means you don't have to have a FICO score. You don't have to borrow no money. If you want to learn how to do real estate without bankers, without a bank loan, then make sure you download my free course, my free book at myrealestatedojo.com, guys. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Click the like button. Leave me a comment. Much love. See you next time. Peace.